Welcome to Thought Cops, the only podcast where every week we talk about what's outraging the internet, and then we let you be the judge, we let you be the jury, we let you be the executioner too in the court of public opinion. Coming to you live from Neo, Chicago, I'm Officer Kevin.
And I'm Officer Grant.
What's up, Officer Grant?
I'm good.
Let's give a quick thank you to our guest from last week, Nikki Martin. Woo! Yay!
Living Da Vida Loca, am I right?
That's loco. And we got a returning guest this week, reigning champion, Justin Whang. What's up?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Justin,
always,
how the hell?
It's always funny to me, like, when I'm on a podcast and I listen to the host doing the intro as, like, I kind of emerge later on, like, waiting there. It reminds me, do you remember years ago when it was like one of the Republican debates and you had, like, all the guys, like, kind of, like, getting stuck in the doorway and no one knew where the fuck to go? That's how I feel at the beginning of a podcast. Yeah, it was Carson and Trump stuck in a doorway.
The old Carson-Trump doorway scenario. Who's who? I wonder.
I don't know.
Well, Justin, thanks for coming back on the show. You've been out once before. We got you here again. Both Grant and I are big fans of your YouTube channel.
Thanks.
Yeah, so you were on last time, I think it was episode 78. I remember I was re-listening to that episode. I think you had just hit 150,000 subscribers, and now you're nearly at 500,000 subscribers on YouTube. That's pretty cool.
It's crazy. Like, how long ago was that now? Like a year? More than a year, I think, since I was on here. Yeah?
Yeah. So
yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, it's...
Like, at that point, my channel, like, it got, like, to that size from, like, 7,000, I want to say, like, really quickly, like, over the course of a few months. And now, honestly, like, what I have now, it's kind of like a more, like, normal growth, but it's still, I never thought I would ever, like, get to the size of a channel.
Yeah, like nearly 500,000. I mean, and you're putting out, great, really interesting content, too. Some of the stuff, I think one of the most fun things that I've seen from you in the past, like, couple months or so was the Abraham Lincoln pancake story. And how you didn't have a good conclusion to it. And then, like, at the end, people sort of followed up and, like, it was this almost like communal effort to conclude, like, where did this come from?
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of almost become like a subgenre of video I have now, where it's an ongoing investigation and then people who are watching the video come up with shit. Like, that one was like that.
Yeah.
Geetus, which was, if you don't know what Geetus is, it's like this weird sticker and pin set somebody found that looked like it came from some kind of fantasy franchise that never was actually released.
Yeah. And
people came up with all kinds of theories for that. And currently, it's the mysterious song. It was this song that it aired in German radio in, like, 1982, 1984. Someone recorded it, put it online in 2007, and people have been searching for it ever since then. The search for it really kind of, like, heated up the past few months.
Yeah, that's great. Like, when you're interacting with people and they're, doing all this research and you like everyone's sort of like, oh, I saw this, and you're coordinating with people. Do you do that over Twitter or Reddit or just everywhere?
Honestly, for the most part, it'll be like more of a passive thing on my end. Like, a lot of people will email me things or send me messages on, I don't get a lot of messages on Twitter. I think, you know what it is? I have, like, my messages are closed on Twitter, but they're open on Instagram. So a lot of times people will send me shit on Instagram that's like a relevant link or something.
And for those who didn't hear the last Justin Whang episode, he's got a lot of hits on his channel. Some of my favorites are the Brian Peppers video from YTMND. Got another one here, the infamous My Little Pony Cum Jar project. Check that one out.
There was supposed to be another component to that. But yeah, this has happened now, like, since the last time I was on here. So basically, when my channel had hit 300,000 subscribers a few months ago, I have a subreddit that I barely ever use it, but it has a little bit of activity. So the My Little Pony Cum Jar guy, and it's definitely him because all the pieces fit. He takes a picture.
The My Little Pony Cum Jar guy.
Yeah, he
put that on your resume.
Yeah, like that's who he is. He's the guy. He posts on my subreddit that congratulations on reaching 300,000, and in the background of the picture, he has the jars and his fucking watches from the video. God. Because like his his chat, basically the second My Little Pony Cum Jar video where he pours it out and shit, it was an unlisted video on his YouTube channel that was all about like clocks and watches. So he has all his watches in the picture.
Another more recent video you put out that was a big hit was the Plastic Love video, that classic song that keeps popping up in everybody's YouTube algorithms.
Yeah, that was
the
a cool one.
disappearance and the reappearance.
Yeah, it was a cool story arc that the photographer kind of, I guess, came around to an agreement with the person who put it up, and now the upload is back. Things like that happen. It almost feels like you're fulfilling like an RPG quest or some shit.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like you're some of these videos I make, it kind of it makes things right in the world, like a YouTube upload that disappears and comes back.
Do you think that you played a part in anything like that? Were any of these videos, the fact that you drew attention to them, did they play a part in fixing some problem or bringing something back, you think?
Sometimes it does. I definitely think, and in the case of Plastic Love, there were like a lot of people working on getting that corrected. But I think bringing attention to the situation and I actually did get an email from the photographer after the first video was put out. And I think it kind of, in that situation at least, it kind of gave the guy a perspective that made him want to be amenable with the community and shit, and led to him, wanting to get the video back up.
You ever get to meet any of these legends? You ever get to meet the people behind Two Girls, One Cup?
I mean, I guess the only person I made a video about that I met off the top of my head, I guess, was Maddox. But that's a whole.
Was it after the? Was it after the fact?
After?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
that was a VidCon.
Was that comfortable? I saw some of the stuff about VidCon. I know. How long ago was that? Like a month or so?
Yeah,
ago?
it was about a month ago. Yeah. No, yeah, he was just kind of like, it was Monday. Matt kind of facilitated the meeting. I was up at the bar, and then Matt came over with Maddox, introduced them, and Maddox basically just said, like, listen, like, there's a lot of things that people like see online, and they don't really have the whole story. And people kind of see they kind of feel differently about each other when they meet each other in real life. And it wasn't anything like too in depth or anything like that, or particularly confrontational.
Sounds deep.
Yeah, it was.
Sounds vague enough to be deep.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like anything like a crazy blowout or anything. It was just like that. Yeah, that was what I told you was basically the extent of the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fair enough. Usually we play voicemails at the end, but we have one that I think is we can play it sort of up top because it's a question sent in specifically for you.
Okay.
Hey, had a question for Justin. Really big fan. Just wanted to ask, how long does it on average take for you to like research a video, kind of go through it? And what's the video you've been kind of the most worried about after releasing? You're kind of like a little nervous before you put it out, and you're still kind of nervous about it. Thanks for the question. Well, thanks for your answer. Take it easy.
So thank you for the question and thank you for the answer?
Yeah. Right. Preemptively.
Yeah, maybe my answer's going to suck shit. He doesn't know. But the research period for any of these videos, honestly, like, it varies a lot. What I'm finding is the videos that take the longest are the ones that involve going through old forums and things like that. Like, that can take forever. Like the Resident Evil 1.5 video, that was a lot of that. And just like the research period of it, I spent like almost like 48 hours straight of like literally just combing through message boards. But then you have ones like the Plastic Love videos. Those were super fast to make. Like the update video that I made, like I literally had that one done in like a couple hours. So it varies a lot.
How do you usually decide what you're going to do the video on? Is it just purely suggestions, or is it just sort of draw the hat?
Every once in a while, it'll be a suggestion. Like, what happens? Like, pretty much I have a notepad file with all the ideas I've had that are kind of like on the back burner. And then it'll just kind of be, they're kind of like all like floating around the back of my head, I guess. And then at some point, I'll feel like I'll just be in the mood to make that video, basically. But then sometimes someone will send me an email or a message that completely supersedes everything else I've been working on. And I'm just like, I gotta do this now. Like the Abraham Lincoln pancakes video was like that. That one, like, I was working on something else, and then I kind of came home to those tweets, and I was like, wait, what's going on here? And I spent a whole night falling down that rabbit hole, and that became that video.
What a weird, like, phenomenon to spend any time thinking about. But that, I feel like that's one of my favorite ones, because then I feel like my memory is like, did he invent pancakes? Why do I think that that's true? Like, who put this idea in my head?
Mandela bullshit.
It's like that, except it's like, is pretty much just like the power of suggestion, that enough people say it and you're like, wait, is it true? Like, it reminds me of do you remember when they used to play, whenever you would have a holiday that was a day off from school, all the cartoons that would play would be different cartoons? Well, there was like 1 year.
What do you mean?
Like, instead of being whatever, like, Disney afternoon shit or whatever was going to play, it was like 1 year they had like Battletoads and Bubsy. Like, a lot of times they would like test out like pilots and shit like that on holidays. But there was 1 year, and I can't find this fucking cartoon, but I know that everyone I think it was like second grade, third grade maybe, everyone in that class had seen the cartoon the year or two before, in which it depicted Christopher Columbus sailing the Pilgrims to America on the Mayflower. And then the next year we're learning about that, and everyone thought that's what happened. And our teacher was like, where did all of you kids get this same wrong information from? And it was that cartoon.
Cartoons are corrupting our youth.
It's kind of a good troll, I guess. Like, it's subtle enough that, like, you're just feeding children incorrect information for no real reason. I kind of, like, want to do that now. Just make kids ignorant for my own personal edification.
Speaking of the power of suggestion, if you've ever listened to this show and found anything that we've ever talked about interesting, definitely, I'm going somewhere with this. Definitely check out Justin's channel, because there's all sorts of crazy internet bullshit that...
it's absolutely fascinating.
And there's a lot of stuff that we talk about on here that, maybe we might have learned on that channel. So you be the expert. Check out Whang. That's Whang ! On YouTube. Subscribe and check out those vids.
I also think, Justin, that your Twitter and your political takes on Twitter are the only ones that I can find myself, agreeing with in any sense of the word.
I feel like all of my political takes at this point, especially on Twitter, they're all so like dripping in irony that like I don't even know what I actually believe anymore. I believe whatever at any given moment. I just believe whatever is the funniest thing to me to believe.
Right.
It's just the irony poisoning and the
brand.
The brand.
Live and die for the brand. It's
all mixed into one.
Yeah, I mean, I've had friends in real life like be like, yo, like, what do you actually think? And it's kind of hard to get down to the core of it, I guess.
I don't think that's uncommon. I hear that quite often, because just the further along we get, I feel the same way as you personally. I think Grant, I'll speak for him too. He feels the same way as you. And am I wrong?
I mean, I think it's always a healthy, a healthy mindset to have when you're constantly like, what do I think? Why do I think what I think? I know that I have biases, but what if these biases are steering me wrong? And then you go down the crazy tunnel of thinking these sort of unsure thoughts, and then you're hit in the face with these people who have very certain thoughts, and they haven't given, two thoughts. They haven't given any thought into why they think what they think. And then, I think the only way out of that situation is to it's post SpongeBob memes about Ben Shapiro. Like, that's how...
that reminds me, there was this period of time when, for some reason, like, not Ben Shapiro himself, but I guess, like, the idea of Ben Shapiro, ironically, was, like, the funniest fucking thing to me. And I would tweet about it constantly. And so then, like, during that period of time, I went on this dude Nurkish's podcast, and... We had spoken about like this and that before, but then he saw all the Ben Shapiro tweets, And he was like, dude, are you like some kind of like hardcore like left-wing dude that like hates Ben Shapiro? I'm just like, no, dude. I just like think Ben Shapiro is like kind of fun to make fun of.
Yeah, a lot of people are, man. And I remember that time in particular because you had your profile picture was you looking down at your phone with the brick wall behind you.
That was just so good.
Oh no.
The funny thing is the amount of people, and I guess this happens with any joke you make, there were a decent amount of people that didn't get the reference and just thought it was a nice picture. Like, I got like a decent amount of like thirsty comments from like random girls, and I'm like, oh damn, maybe the Ben Shapiro aesthetic works for me.
Hey, Justin cleans up nice. Oh, it's just a Ben Shapiro parody.
Just Ben Shapiroing.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get to some show news here. Well, apparently we hit 40,000 downloads. All right. Hey, watch out, Justin.
Yeah.
We're right behind you.
It's been a grind, but it's, you know, and anybody that's listening to this at all is always
cool,
blows my mind.
Yeah, that's cool. And we got a live show coming up very soon, and it's not sold out. I just checked today. Part of Asterios Kokkinos' podcast tour. We'll be performing with him here in Chicago at the Crowd Theater Thursday, August 22nd at 10 p.m. Get your tickets now because they're going to be sold out real soon. I was just at the Crowd Theater last night for the first time ever.
Yeah.
It's fucking small.
This is going to be great.
It's going to be packed.
Have you guys...
Get in there now.
Have you guys done like live performances before in that vein?
We've both done stand-up.
Yeah, I figured you guys were stand-up guys.
Never based on the podcast, though. No.
Yeah. We don't know. Asterios has not given us any sort of suggestion for what our participation is, so we don't know what to do.
Hell, that's fucking classic Asterios right there.
Exactly. Hey, you know what you're getting, right?
Yeah.
It'll be a good time.
It'll be messy and terrible, and it'll all come together at the end.
That reminds me, like, told Sriracha I would stream this Asterios game that she did R4. I think it's called like
Asterios game.
Yeah, it's like asteroids or something like that. Like, I'm assuming it's like asteroids, but with Asterios.
I hope so. And another final note here: we have some video content in the pipeline very soon, so stick around. We want to build out the old brand a little more than just the podcast, just the Twitch stream, just everything else. So we're going to be getting back to video content, doing that a little more regularly. So stay tuned.
It'll be nice to have more than 2 videos up.
So yeah, we got some good stuff on the horizon here pretty soon. Anyway, let's move on here to a very famous, very favorite segment of the show called 2 Minutes of Hate. We like to blanket punish those things that irritate us. They annoy us. They get under our skin when we're scrolling on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. So I'll begin. Every day we stray further from God's light. You guys ever see this comment on things?
Yeah. Bit of
Grant, yes, you have.
You've definitely seen somebody.
I've probably glossed over it.
He's fucking with me. He thought it was so funny last week where I looked stupid on my crappy 2 minutes of hate.
I feel like I received that comment a lot because I post like a lot of like I just retweet a lot of like dumb shit, like a lot of I guess what people might call cursed and shit like that. Yeah, I feel like everything that it's like either like if you follow both me and Nerd City, we're just constantly filling your feed up with shit that will receive that comment.
And the whole thing, I don't know, I keep bringing these things up that it's mostly just the format of just the discourse people have where it's just like, hey, I saw 50 people say this on the internet. I'm going to say it too. And I'm going to be validated for it. So it's like, it just something like you put it well is some cursed image.
It's like a cursed. This ain't a chief. Like, it's one of those like things where it's like, I just want to say something. And this is the thing I've seen people say. So I'm going to say that so I can pretend I contributed something. The fucking clown license pictures.
Exactly. So yeah, every day we stray further from God's light. Hey, Justin, maybe for your next video, you can figure out who said that first.
I feel like that's a quote from something. Like it's probably a quote from like probably a movie or some shit, or a book,
the Bible
maybe.
or some dumb shit.
Yeah,
yeah. It's a quote from the film that what's his name Charlton Heston was in, the 10 Commandments.
10 Commandments. So yeah, my punishment to you is you have to stray further into God's light read the dang Bible and become a born-again Christian. How's that for fun?
Great punishment.
How do you stray further into something? It would be
stray closer.
Because
okay,
stray
bad
is
word.
like going away. So like, what's the opposite of stray? It's like
hither,
yes,
hither into God's light.
Hither towards the light of God, my sweet child.
Each day we hither towards God's light. I guess that would
Justin,
be like,
do you have a 2 minutes of hate?
2 minutes of hate. I thought of one, and now I'm struggling to remember what it was. Oh yeah, the phrase "my truth." This is my truth. Yeah, like it's
speaking my truth. Yeah,
like normally, like someone says "my truth." Basically, what they're saying is like what I'm about to say is full of factual inaccuracies, but it's like how I feel things played out in my imagination or some shit.
And I'm thinking of those dang truth ads from back in the day. No smoking.
I don't think that's what he's talking about.
Well,
I mean, it
certainly reminds me of that. It certainly kind of brings to light.
It falls into that trope of repetitive social media phrases, I guess. Like if you know what the word "my truth" is. When you see someone say "my truth," you know they're about to post one of those screenshots of a big apology that they took on. They wrote in like fucking Apple or Samsung notes or whatever the hell. Like one of those. Yeah. That's the "my truth" post.
It's usually like, it's usually some sort of apology, but also, you can't be mad at me because this is my truth. Whatever the fuck that means. Stop smoking cigarettes. It's bad for you.
Rashomon ain't real life. You guys didn't watch Rashomon?
Are there any other examples?
No, I've seen Rashomon.
Okay, I don't know what that is. Is it an anime?
No.
It's
Justin, tell them what it is.
It's a classic Japanese film by why can't I remember his fucking name now? He's like the most famous Kurosawa. It's basically my favorite Kurosawa movie, and you see the same crime retold from 3 different perspectives. And
it's been parodied in like Simpsons and a bunch of other cartoons and stuff. Bubsy, Bobcat, I don't know, whatever they're playing on Columbus Day.
The Bubsy cartoon is up there with Rashomon in terms of cinema classics.
Yeah, I would agree. That should be taught in schools. Bubsy, was Bubsy a video game or a cartoon first?
It was a video game.
Okay.
Yeah, there was... I guess I don't know what it was. It was that year they had Bubsy and Battletoads together. Neither of them got picked up, but I guess maybe someone at some production company thought video game cartoons are going to be the new wave.
And they were for a while.
Yeah, I mean, you had Double Dragon, the cartoon, which I actually thought was pretty good.
You had Sonic Underground, as Nico points out.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, Sonic Underground. Did you
ever see that one, Justin?
Yeah, I was like about to say, did you ever see, what's his fucking name? And I remember I learned that fucking guy that makes the Sonic Underground cartoons. I found out about him from you guys.
Dude, you gotta do a video about Tamers. He's the new age Christian, like the next fucking coming of Christ.
I feel like he's definitely working on some level of irony. I'm just not sure which level that is yet. Like, did you play his game?
He has a game?
Oh my god,
he has a game.
He has an RPG Maker game. I did a stream of it a while back. My playthrough is up on my gaming channel somewhere. But he made an RPG Maker game.
That I gotta see.
And basically he has these characters. They all have different names, but they're clearly supposed to be Sonic Underground characters. And
sounds about right, yeah.
Yeah. And every once in a while they'll call them by their Sonic name as opposed to their fake name.
Yeah. Is the whole point of the game you trying to fuck Bartleby?
Yes. Yes.
The end goal?
It is. 100%. But Bartleby's sweet ass is a big plot point in the game.
Oh my god.
Disgusting.
So if you could punish these, what the hell were we talking about again?
My truthers.
My truthers. What's your punishment?
Truther.
Yeah.
Shit, I gotta come up with a fucking punishment.
Grant, you do it for him.
Yeah. You're the cops.
You gotta smoke the whole pack of cigarettes.
Yeah, smoke the whole pack. You think they taste so good? Well, smoke the whole fucking carton.
I mean, basically,
you think you look cool?
Sentencing them to get cancer. So that's a pretty rough punishment.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's a slow burn, but you got to learn somehow. That's your truth. You're a little cigarette addict.
All right. I guess it's my turn. The people who didn't care about politics until video games.
Here's the thing about
I don't
that.
know. Do I have to?
I think a lot of people got swept up into the video game aspect of politics, and then it kind of became this thing. Well, it's like, oh, well, now I care about politics, so I have to act like I care about all these other things that don't have to do with the video games, but I'm like, they're a part of having some kind of coherent political beliefs. Now I have to pretend to care about this thing I don't really care about.
You mean in terms of how Gamergate happened, and then that sort of wrapped people up into this political mindset, and now they have to react to things?
Yeah, like they cared about certain aspects of Gamergate, and then some time passes, and it, like, being political becomes a part of their identity. So they're like, I guess I have to, like, think something about these things that I haven't really thought about before.
Yeah.
Okay, you got church, you got state, separate. You got video games, you got politics. Keep them separate, all right? I don't want to hear about how Sonic is a Marxist icon. I don't want to hear that Pokemon is
socialist.
Social, and that's
well, because
I don't want to hear that
health center, whatever.
I don't want to hear that Battletoads are the
libertarian
party.
Utopia.
Yeah. I don't want to hear that. Keep it separate, all right?
I mean, like, especially in terms of, like, first they went after, the minorities, and I didn't say anything, but then they went after my games.
My toys.
My toys.
No!
I mean, pretty much my entire political perspective, I guess, is I don't want anyone to interfere with my fun. That's basically what my whole ideology, if you really boil it down, comes down to. So I understand.
No, it makes sense.
I think, Grant, if I may, what you're getting at is people. Oh, you already agree. Good. People who are getting off. They're like, they're riding the Trump train the entire time. Every single decision this guy has made is great. They don't care. It's like you said, they're already agreed, stamp of approval. I'm all in, until he says, maybe video games cause violence. Then they're like, okay, get this guy out of the White House. It just like, it really does paint a really clear picture of what kind of person you're dealing with.
My video games.
Yeah.
I don't care about kids in cages or whatever. Let's not fix that problem, but my video games.
Well, to be fair, to be fair, Sonic. Whenever Sonic. Sorry. Go ahead, Justin.
No, yeah. To be fair, I don't have any kids, but I have video games, so it's a pretty easy choice for me.
That's a very good point. Yeah.
The personal is political.
Yes.
And the political can be personal. I think that's definitely part of it. I also feel like it's just it's one of those things that is such an easy thing to dogpile on, because it's not just people on the right. It's like it's everybody's like, hey, that's stupid. But then it just becomes this, like, how can I outdo myself to point out how stupid this is when everybody already knows that it's stupid? It's like one or two people on the news that go, oh, maybe it's this. And it's like, no, it's not that. So you don't have to say anymore. Just that's not it. That ain't it, Chief. That's
it's a major yikes.
It's a big yikes, though.
It's a big oof.
The biggest oof. I guess my punishment is just no more video games.
Oh,
except the Tamers game.
Yeah, only fair. The Tamers game. You're required to play it every single day.
It's communist America for you. Tamers game for everybody.
I think the world would be better off, though, if everyone... I was thinking this as a joke, but now, like, in the back of my head, I'm like, this might actually be true, that if every single American were forced to play the Tamers game beginning to end, I genuinely feel like society would be better off. Like, we would all just, like, understand the world we live in better.
It'd be like 9/11 too. It'd be a horrific event that brings everybody together.
It's not horrific. It's a great game.
Well, by the way, for those who don't know what the hell we're talking about, just look up Tamers12345 on YouTube and just watch a few videos.
Did you see his tribute video for when Notre Dame burnt down?
Yeah, oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Like all of a sudden, the headshot characters are crying. One dude has his fucking giant ass cheeks like pointed towards the camera.
Incredibly disrespectful. Yeah. My personal favorite is the Stan Lee tribute when Stan Lee died, and he drew a picture of Stan Lee with all of the Sonic Underground characters who he had nothing to do with, and then Batman and Superman, who he also had nothing to do with. That's like, honestly, that's one of my favorite categories of YouTuber is the
psychopath.
The psychopath who tries to remain relevant by like just a very passing notion of what the news means. Or like, yeah, I have this like hyper specific channel, but also like once in a while I'll talk about like Pearl Harbor or something. Whatever my mommy and daddy are watching on TV.
Yeah.
See, the thing about Tamers, I think the guy is like, he's legitimately like got something wrong with him with this Sonic obsession. Like, I think he might, like, he's, like, on the spectrum or something, but at the same time, I see things like that, and I still think he's functioning on some level of irony. Like, I think he knows how weird he is and doubles down.
It's gotta be.
It's like some kind of feedback loop.
It's too genius.
Without dwelling on Tamers too much, we'll get to the old meat and potatoes here. If you haven't listened to Thought Cops before, every week we investigate the internet's outrage-inducing news stories, and then we sentence each perpetrator to a cruel and often very unusual punishment. So let's talk about this. The old, the DSA goof 'em up. You guys see that?
Yeah.
Justin, I can tell by that smirk. He knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
there is a DSA video, which is... This is like something out of an episode of Arrested Development.
Should we play this on the episode?
Yeah, let's. Yeah, absolutely.
It looks like I saw that, and at first I literally thought it was like a fake sketch. Like I thought it was. If you told me that like some conservative boomer made this sketch and this is what they think, so like socialists are doing or something, that would be like,
it's like a Turning Points USA video.
Yeah, like I could see this being written by someone who makes attack helicopter jokes, but it's fucking real.
If we want to defeat capitalism, we are going to need a party that will organize working people to fight for the demands that we want and to win socialism. Thank you so much.
Quick
point of privilege. Quick point of personal privilege.
Yes.
Guys, first of all, James Jackson, Sacramento, he, him. I just want to say, can we please keep the chatter to a minimum? I'm one of the people who's very, very prone to sensory overload. There's a lot of whispering and chatter going on. It's making it very difficult for me to focus. Please,
apparently that's a disability.
I know it's fresh and ready to go, but can we please just keep the chatter to a minimum? It's affecting my ability to focus. Thank you.
Why?
Jazz hands.
You know, like,
Okay, is there
you figure like they have their their organization.
This guy's the best.
Please do not use gendered language to address everyone.
Sorry, go ahead, Justin.
Yeah,
no, you figure like, so they have like their whole as I understand what was going on here, like basically all the different DSA branches sent representatives to this meeting, right? So I'm sure they have people who work with him, whatever branch fucking James John Sacramento, him came from. Surely they have somebody who like doesn't have a sensory overload problem that could have attended.
right. I want to explain this in the most relatable terms for our listeners. Think about this like the 5 Kage summit.
Okay, right.
All the Kages are there, and then Sasuke appears, and he's like, Sasuke Uchiha, him. Can we please stop clapping, or else I'm going to have to...
What happens like when the revolution happens and like people are like shooting guns and shit? Like, it's... Is someone's gonna have like for some reason I pictured muskets happening, like this was fucking whatever year they had muskets in, but you know what I'm saying, like they do that and there's no time to raise your personal point of privilege. It's just, I'm gonna be uncomfortable during this fucking war.
You know, sometimes we have a problem on the show with especially with the remote guests. We don't know who is going to talk or who's going to say what, so I think from now on we should say point of privilege. Grant, you go first. Say it.
Okay. I won't say it. You can say it.
What if we say
point of privilege?
at the same time?
3, 2, 1.
Point of privilege. Uh-oh. What happens now?
I think... Well, whoever goes first would be too hierarchical. I guess whoever goes last. I heard Justin's voice
Justin,
last.
go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Wait, what am I? Oh,
this is your chance, man. Just make a really solid point because, by the way, me and Grant, I know there was a lot of clapping at the beginning of the episode. We were talking about Justin's subscriber count. It's nearing up about 500,000 subscribers.
We should have been doing jazz hands.
Here's what you guys got to do. You got to have James John Sacamano, him, on the podcast and see what he does for the sync.
That would be like the whole episode is just like completely all the audio is fucked up because
it's just like all fucked up because he can't do the clap sync.
Jesus.
So yeah, this is hilarious.
Yeah,
and like you said,
checked all of the boxes.
I mean, like it's not even. I think that whatever political stance you have, you gotta laugh at this. This is pretty funny.
I mean, I feel like I've seen, when you see someone who like believes the things you believe, like making your side look ridiculous, it hits a little bit hard. And I've been seeing like a lot of people who would otherwise be DSA, like trying to distance themselves from this.
Yeah. I've seen people who were former DSA that were like, I left because of this culture.
Yeah.
There's a certain utility of speech and language where it's like, yeah, I got that one thing that Zwick was so nice to clip for us where I was talking about the word manhole and how I thought it was a disgusting word. And just like, it's a fucking circle in the ground. Just call it a sewer cover. Like who the fuck cares? But at the same time, if someone's talking and giving a long speech and they say the word manhole, you don't go, oh, could you not use that gender? Like, how do they get through a meeting? There's a utility there that, like, you can see the frustration on the woman's face who's trying to, oversee this whole thing, that she's just like, we're not even talking about anything right now. We're just bickering.
Didn't she make some kind of tweet about that? I think I saw a screenshot about the personal points of privilege from her, about kind of like not of like knowing when to like basically knowing when to shut up with them.
I didn't see it, but
I don't remember her fucking
very
name.
Understandable.
Yeah,
it just.
I mean, you literally like, you can't.
With
there's like literally no time to get through all the things that you actually went there to discuss when everyone basically. I mean, you really look at this shit. It's kind of like. You're ever in a college class and the people, they're raising their hands like they want to ask a question, but they don't really have a question. They just want the professor to know what they know. So it's really just more of a statement. Well, it isn't actually blah, 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 blah. And it's like, it's that kind of thing, but in a political format.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we got our job, of course, here on Thought Cops is to fix the problems that do occur in our world we live in. So we got to think of a punishment for this. I feel like they've taken away everything. I don't even know what to punish them with. I want to take away more, but I'm like,
it's hard.
No clapping, no pronouns, no. I got one. No more rose emojis. Sorry.
They're just going to use rose emoji dog whistles. What you
no more
do?
Rose emojis. That nobody will know that you're in the DSA. Go ahead. A point of privilege. Go ahead.
A point of privilege, I have a good punishment for them. You send James John Sacamano, him DSA, to go watch the Blue Man Group.
Oh, yeah.
See,
those guys fucking light it up.
Yeah, they light it up, and then they're like the Blue Man Group, so like his like friend can get upset about that too.
Yeah, these guys think it's hard going into a DSA meeting. Imagine a fucking guy in blue paint throwing Captain Crunch at you.
That's like the next level of sensory overload.
Right.
I wonder if that guy's ever done like shrooms or some shit. Can you imagine?
Maybe that's why.
Yeah, like maybe he's just like stuck.
Sensory overload.
Like he's just stuck that way now.
All right, I want to read you guys a tweet. You know, if you want to interrupt me first, say point of privilege, but I want to see who gets it first.
Point of privilege, you addressed us as guys.
God, Grant, God damn it. So maybe you both know who this is, so I just want to read the whole thing here. And I want you guys to think in your heads, without clapping or without screaming, who this tweet was from.
All right.
In the past 48 hours, the USA horrifically lost 34 people to mass shootings. On average, across any 48 hours, we also lose 500 to medical errors, 300 to the flu, 250 to suicide, 200 to car accidents, and 40 to homicide via handgun. Often our emotions respond more to spectacle than to data. What do you guys think that was?
I know who
Point
this
of
was
privilege.
cheating.
Justin, I'm going to have to ask you to be quiet for a second. Grant, you said point of privilege?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Elmo from Sesame Street.
That's wrong. Justin, what's your guess?
Is this wrong answer?
Who do you think?
Wrong answers only?
Motherfucker.
That's an upcoming 2 minutes of hate, though.
Oh, is
man.
it?
Yeah, no, but that's okay.
Those
okay.
tweets suck shit.
They do. So, well, I got to tell you all, that was a little professor goes by the name of Neil deGrasse Tyson. So there was
They gave this guy a diploma?
So this was his response to a national tragedy. There was a shooting, and then he goes off and turns it into some community college lecture about the flu. Nobody wants to hear about the fucking flu. People got killed.
That's something I would have posted on a message board when I was like a fucking 13 years old. I thought it was fucking deep and shit.
I was going to say, it sounds like a middle schooler's response. It sounds like a middle schooler one-upping you. Like, oh, what happened to your arm? And your arm's in a cast. And you're like, oh, I broke it. I fell out of a tree. And they're like, I broke both my arms once.
Yeah.
And my mom had to, never mind.
I understood that reference.
Thank you.
So yeah, this needless to say, this tweet wasn't handled very well. A lot of people were very upset at Mr. Tyson for what he's done, which is
Just
to make light of a tragedy.
Do what he always does, really. Just be pedantic. But now people are fucking annoyed because it's like... normally he's pedantic over things like, well, actually, the New Year is an arbitrary date. And and he makes that same fucking tweet every single year. You can, like, search his shit.
Yeah.
I imagine this isn't going to be one that he tweets every time there's a shooting.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, imagine... I don't know anybody, I don't think I know anybody personally that has been the survivor or victim of a mass shooting like this. But imagine it's someone close to you. It's your wife, your father, your child.
What else?
And then some smart spaceman with a degree on the internet that goes, well, actually...
Or they could have got sick.
It could have been worse. They could have gotten the flu.
A common cold.
Well, I saw the best fucking tweet that someone did parodying. It was something about the fucking airplane crashing. Let me fucking find this shit. It was such a good tweet. Neil, God fucking damn it. It's not coming
Well,
up.
he could have died in a car accident. It's like, yeah, I guess that's true. Like,
doesn't make it better.
Still dead.
That was the gist of it. It's like you're on a plane, crash landing, and on the way down, Neil deGrasse Tyson sitting next to you and says, well, actually, people are more likely to die on their way to the airport.
God damn it.
This guy's a real buzzkill.
Yeah. He should double down into it, I think.
He's quickly on his way.
I think everyone was hoping that, like, those sexual assault allegations would take him down.
Oh my God. Wasn't he, like, trying to, like, see girls' tattoos of planets or something? That's a nice tattoo.
Well, actually, your vagina is an arbitrary collection of molecules.
Hey, girl, let me see your anus.
I got that same tattoo on my dick.
Yeah, I don't know.
What else is there to say, right? You know,
I don't know what else to add to this. That's it.
Yeah, so basically, he's like, yeah, some kids got shot, but the last 2 days, people got really sick from the flu. It's like, all right, man, Thanks.
Yeah, like there's no clear like distinction between bad things.
You know what they need to do to kind of to fix this? Neil deGrasse Tyson. Neil deGrasse Tyson needs to invent a gun that gives you the flu.
Yeah, that seems like the only appropriate solution here. I also want to. I got a question here. Opponent privilege. His top example is medical errors. What exactly does that mean?
So there's a large percentage of people who die because they can't read like doctor's handwriting.
The old chicken scratch, the classic doctor's handwriting. So, so what he's trying to say is doctors kill more people with bad handwriting than a shooter kills at a Dayton shopping mall.
I think I got a punishment.
Okay.
Just take all the guns away from the American populace, give them to all the doctors.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does.
The only one to beat a bad doctor with a gun is a good doctor with a gun.
Darn tootin'.
All right, let's do one more.
Yes.
Do you guys have dogs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I grew up with dogs.
Great. Would any of you spit on your dog?
And no.
I'm trying to think of a scenario because I'm inclined to say no, but I don't want to. I don't want to get called out for hypocrisy if there ever comes a time when I spit on my dog.
Like if it gets like a jellyfish sting or something?
Yeah. Well, no, then you have to piss on your dog, I think.
Even worse. You don't want that footage out there.
Certainly not.
Yeah, so this YouTube star, Brooke Hoots. I don't know. Did you guys see this video?
No. Let's learn, shall we?
Should we play it?
Yeah.
It's not going to be
part
interesting.
It's a long video.
So there she is smacking it in the face. And wrestling it to the ground and screaming at it and spitting on it. And now the people at people.com are commentating on it, which I don't need commentary. That's why I listen to Thought Cops.
Yeah. And we watch Justin Whang.
Yeah. It's all we need.
So it could have been worse, it's not exactly Michael Vick levels of animal abuse, but I wouldn't spit in my pup.
There are differences between bad things. Yeah. At least the dog didn't get the flu.
Actually, dogs get spit on every day for being little bad boys when they eat out of the garbage can and eat chicken bones. And then I shoot them in the head with a gun that makes them sick.
Sounds just like him.
I don't know what the fuck he sounds like.
Nothing. I would 100% read a Neil deGrasse Tyson comic where he's a villain that just gives people the flu.
Yes. He'd be a good Batman villain.
Yeah.
Or I was thinking one of those older cartoon strips like Dennis the Menace, and Dennis's school gets shot up, and then Neil deGrasse Tyson is like, well, actually, he's Mr. Wilson. He's like, well, actually, you're less likely to die in a school shooting.
It's like, well, I guess I should count my lucky stars that I maybe get sick tomorrow, and I guess I'll die then instead. Anyway, so this lady tackled her dog and spit on him. The hell? What was the video about? What?
She's pranking her dog.
It's just a prank, bro.
I don't remember what the prank actually was.
Dog gets tackled and spit on. .mp4.
It was a Joey Salads level prank where she pays off the dog at the end.
Yeah.
She
to create
in the
racial
dog's
tension.
So, Grant, what's happening, man?
Well, so after this video, so she was trying to, I guess, record a prank video, like Justin said, and then like this entire raw footage of the making of the video leaked. And then
the hell?
I don't really know, and I didn't really look into it too much because I'm not a fan of animal abuse, so I didn't want to read more about it, even though we do a show on these types of topics. Sorry, everybody.
Look out for our animal abuse spinoff.
Dog cops.
I don't think there's an animal abuse specific podcast yet. So that's a niche right there.
Yeah,
it really is.
You got to find your niche.
So she went into her notepad and she wrote a long Twitter apology. It's 4 pages.
4 pages. 4 pages of her truth.
We should have Nikki come back in and just read all the apologies on the iPhone notepad screenshots.
Riley in the chat, I think, said something earlier that was kind of interesting. We should do like a mad... I don't know if he was saying this or not, but this is what I got out of it because I just saw his name pop up in the corner of the screen. But we should do like a Mad Libs for this, where we just replace like dog with whatever word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Essentially. I'm sure that there's every, Justin, when you reach a certain level of success on YouTube, I think you got to hit 1 million subscribers. They give you a form you can fill out for, in case of emergency. So next, if you have like a huge controversy or something, it's a Mad Libs. It's basically Mad Libs, and you just fill in the nouns and verbs on whatever situation you're in, and just take a screenshot on your iPhone Notes app and just put it up on Twitter, and you're scot-free.
I guess I should get ready because it's going to happen sooner or later.
Sooner than later. So
keep your dog away from the beach.
Yeah.
I'll read 2 paragraphs of this real fast because it is absolutely ridiculous. I'll skip around a little though. First off, I want to address the uncut footage on the day in particular that was the video was filmed, and actually this week, blah blah blah. Things outside my life have been less than exceptional. All right, same with your dog's life. I am not going to play the victim card or anything of that sort, but I do want to point out that I am rarely as upset as what was shown in the footage. Next paragraph. That being said, this does not justify me yelling at my dog in the way I did. I'm fully aware of that. Should I have gotten as angry as I did in the video? No. Should I have raised my voice and yelled at him? No. However, when my 75-pound Doberman jumped up in my face with his mouth open,
he loves you dumbass.
I do, as a dog parent, have to show him that this behavior is unacceptable. You tackle him and you spit on him.
You should never spit on your fur baby.
So this is, like usual, it's a terrible apology. I apologize, but no. Apologize to the dog. How about that?
Yeah. Teach your dog how to read and fucking apologize. Sick.
Anything else to add to this one?
Yeah, I say we tackle her and spit on her.
Okay.
I'm so down with that.
We're probably going to get in trouble for that one, but you know what?
Are you?
I don't know. I mean, if I ever get in trouble for it, I'm going to be like, well, look what she did to her dog.
It's a good point.
Yeah,
good point.
Like basically, like once a person on the internet does something that everybody on the internet doesn't like you can do whatever you want. It's like it's free game. You can say, like, you could probably like walk up to her in real life and like punch her in the mouth, and like people would just be like, "Hell yeah, brother!"
It's gonna be like Chopper sick balls, but Chopper sick pussy.
Yeah. So why don't we do? Let's hand out some keys to the city. This is the segment where, as opposed to, ragging on things and talking about things that are depressing and, terrible and awful, we highlight something we saw that's good on the internet.
I got one.
Kevin, go ahead.
The last 2 days, 500 people got the flu and died. I'm just kidding. No, for real. My key to the city this week goes to an iDubbbz video that released a week or two ago. So
I didn't know he was still making videos.
Yeah, he puts out stuff when he feels like it.
All right. Wow.
But he put out a video. It was like an hour long. I would even say it was like a documentary called Full Force, where him and his friends drove to Battle Creek, Michigan, to follow around a YouTuber named Airsoft Fatty, who does these lightsaber battle YouTube videos where him and his adult friends hit each other with those plastic lightsaber toys. But it goes like so much deeper than that. It's honestly comparable to, if you guys saw the final episode of Nathan For You, where he follows around that guy who the Bill Gates impersonator. It's really similar to that. So if you like that, if you like Nathan For You, or if you like anything like that, Definitely check out the iDubbbz video called Full Force. It's an hour long, but it is absolutely worth your time.
Justin, do you have a key to the city? Something good you saw online brightens your day up?
Makes you smile.
Shit, I can't think of the last thing that made me smile.
No, we'll well, Grant, give him some time. You do yours.
Yeah. Mine goes to Ross NMIET, who has an exercise blog that he's been doing for the past 10 or 15 years, and he just makes all of his own equipment. And he's been putting a bunch of videos on Instagram lately of just here's 10 years worth of me doing ab wheel rollouts, and here's 10 years worth of me doing handstand push-ups with 80-pound weight vests on it. Just crazy fucking shit. And the guy's 40 years old, and to see his level of perseverance and any sense of anything is just amazing to see someone, going at it for so long. And to have a recorded history of this is back in 2005 when I started my blog. This is me doing, one-handed push-ups with a weight vest on. And here's me doing it, in 2019. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll give you some time if we need to, Justin. Sorry, I forgot to mention this part to you.
Yeah, I think I got it.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Whenever you're ready.
My key to the city is the song Lady Oscar by the band Romantica. It's an Argentinian gay Nazi J-rock band. And it's
what?
Yeah, I was so basically I've been doing this Angel Fire series where I just browse shitty old websites. And the last stream that I did for it was about Japanese rock band fan sites. And then there's this girl who came into the stream and showed me all the shit about this band, and this is A+ material right here.
So could you go ahead and say what the genre was one more time?
Visual K, which is kind of a subset of Japanese rock music.
The exact wording you used.
Gay Argentinian Nazis.
Damn. And J-rock too. That's incredible. That see, this is the future that liberals want.
Yeah.
It's inclusive. You got all the ideologies there.
Yeah. It's like one of those coexist bumper stickers.
That's fucking multiple points of personal privilege for this guy.
Coexist, but the S is a swastika.
Sure, and the T is God, who knows what. All right, well, I'm going to have to check that out on the train home today. So,
yeah.
Out of a morbid curiosity, I'll add. And let's get on to Word of the Week. This week's Thought Cops Word of the Week is whataboutism.
Whataboutism?
Whataboutism. So, a whataboutism is when you deflect criticism by pointing out flaws in your opponent, specifically by using the phrase, what about blank?
Sounds like a callback.
What about people get sick from... Yeah, what about the flu? Hey, what about... Neil, you know what just kind of occurred to me? Neil deGrasse Tyson is kind of like a Family Guy episode where you're trying to
Remember that time when 300 people died of the flu?
Yeah. You think that's bad?
I want to see Peter Griffin and Neil deGrasse Tyson beat the shit out of each other for 5 minutes
Peter deGrasse
straight.
Griffin.
Yeah. Oh, God. All right, this whole episode is worth it just for that realization.
Peter deGrasse Griffin's going to have to become an image that we tweet out.
Absolutely. Yeah. What's this, Graham? We have a 5-star review?
Yeah, we got a 5-star review. Leave your own 5-star review by going to iTunes, searching for Thought Cops, finding our podcast, and leave a 5-star review.
It helps us out.
And we will read it on the episode. This says, good laughs every week. It's by Veets123. He says, great show with a great premise. 2 guys bringing to light to the dark side of the internet. Good syntax there. And taking it to justice. Guests are great. Keep up the great work, Officer Kevin and Officer Kant. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Veets123, for that. And even Justin, he got a little thank you in there, too, for being one of our guests.
Thank you,
that's
Justin.
Nice. That's nice.
So before we get to the voicemails, Justin, plug all of it, man. Where can we find you?
You can find me. The YouTube channel will pop up if you look up Whang Tales from the internet. I've been doing a lot more Twitch recently, so twitch.tv/Justin Whang. I mean, pretty much like you just search Justin Whang and all my shit will pop up, and you can pick which flavor you like.
And again,
which flavor of shit you like?
Which flavor of shit do you like today? So yeah, again, highly recommend that channel. I feel like Justin, you and I had a similar upbringing. I think, like I said last time, just being on like YTM&D, being on Newgrounds, being on Angel Fire, all these things. So a lot of the stuff you talk about resonates with me on a certain level, and I think that anybody who resonates with anything from this podcast will appreciate that channel. So check it out.
When do you publish this?
This will go
Monday
out
or Tuesday.
Yeah, Monday or Tuesday.
Usually
probably.
Tuesday.
Yeah, so my Goatsy video should be out by then.
Oh, hell yeah.
Cool.
That's the next one.
I cannot wait for that one, yeah. We'll have to link to that one in the description. Cool. Well, let's move right on to the voicemails.
Yeah.
It's Das Boot, but its pronoun is she because a boat is transportation.
Oh, that's a good joke.
I don't know, man. Yeah, that's like attack.
That's
like attack helicopter level. Like, yeah. Try better next time.
Here's attack helicopters.
Next voicemail.
Hey, tiny dick cops. I got a story, not a complaint.
All right.
You know who has the most fucking lit ass Facebook? Like strippers from like shitty, like borderline suburban, like shitholes, like that were once industrial towns, but now are just like opioid havens. Those strippers from those towns are amazing because there's this one from my hometown, which is basically the Wisconsin version of Rockford, Illinois.
Oh, disgusting.
She was talking about how
all of our Rockford heads.
This is public on Facebook. She was saying how she caught her ex in bed with her mom. And she was talking about how I was like, I'm so disgusted.
Nice.
They bonded over how much they love my daughter. Her ex is the baby daddy. But then she let us all know a few days later that they're back together. I didn't know you could come back from, being like Eskimo sisters with your mom, but with the power of meth, anything's possible.
Love is blind?
Love is blind, and if I, slept with the same person as my mom, I would be cutting out my eyeballs.
Well, you say that now, but if you meet the right person, you may be willing to forgive them.
I hope someone understands my reference out there. Anybody.
Zwick, put the cricket noise here.
Hey, what's up? I saw the thing on Whang's story, so this is a question for Whang. What's your thoughts on the band Slipknot? All right, peace.
Okay, Slipknot, what's your opinion?
I like Slipknot. Actually, the most recent songs they put out, I really like those songs.
They're still putting out albums?
Oh, yeah. They have a new one coming out soon-ish. They put out 2 songs from it. Very catchy stuff. Although, you know what? The more recent things, the album before that I didn't really like. I just thought it was kind of boring. And the one before that one had a couple of songs I liked, but the rest of the album didn't really do it for me. But I feel like a lot of bands that have been around that long kind of fall into the same cycle for me.
Yeah, I feel like Slipknot is really of its time, the early 2000s, mid 2000s. But it's cool that they're still out there doing stuff. They're still wearing those crazy masks and dreads and everything else.
Yeah.
Tom Savini just made if you don't know who Tom Savini is, the special effects guy for the Night of the Living Dead movies and all that shit.
Okay.
Yeah, he had made a new mask for Corey, the singer from Slipknot, and you would think he would make the craziest shit for him, but it literally looks like a see-through plastic version of those poor strip masks or whatever the fuck they are that girls wear. It's like they took the most talented special effects artists in the world and just they were like, hey, take all your talent and just do nothing. You know what it looks like? Cody Rhodes' fucking mask when he broke his nose.
It's an evolution of some sort, or a de-evolution. It's a move forward.
Slipknot is finally growing up, basically. Anyway, let's go to the next voicemail.
Oh, awesome. Lakembra left 2 voicemails. Great.
Hey, Justin. Crikey, this is Lakembra from Australia. If you had 3 hermit crabs you needed to get rid of, how would you do it? Thanks.
What did he say? 3 hermit crabs or 300 crabs?
Yeah. He said 3 hermit crabs.
If you had to get rid of 3 hermit crabs, let's say you're just holding on to a couple of hermit crabs, you get them as pets or something. How do you get rid of them?
You gotta, like, if you have 3 hermit crabs that you're fucking with, you're getting rid of them, so you might as well have them take on, like, some dumb shit as a shell. But I can't
See,
think of
that's
any.
a very humane answer. Justin, I agree with you. I just we were on the Hard Men Working Hard podcast filler content recently, and Lakembra's answer to the question of what do you do with 3 hermit crabs was actually quite horrific. So without spoiling too much, I'm glad that we're all on the same page here. It's much more fun.
I mean,
I'm assuming you can put them in a butt or something.
Well, I was going to say it's much more fun to have a hermit crab, give him like a little can of Pepsi to walk around inside of, and instead Lakembra's out there with a fucking plastic bag and a hammer, and
he killed him.
He smashed him to death.
Damn,
sicko.
I see. Even then, you said plastic bag and a hammer. And I'm like, I don't know. I feel like that's gonna be too heavy for him to make a shell out of.
We're innocent. Anyway, we have an actual voicemail from the real Lakembra. I mean, another voicemail.
He's in the chat right now. He's saying that we're taking it out of context.
Out of what context could there possibly be for that?
Well, let's play his voicemail. Maybe we'll find out.
Thought Cops. Hello.
It's
me.
We all know who that is.
Shut up for a sec. Just wanted to call and say hello to Justin Whang, who's on the show right now. Hello.
Hi.
Whang, I'm a big fan of your work. And, when people say that they're a big fan of your work, usually they mention, like, the more popular videos, like the jar of cum video or, any number of tales from the internet. But one of your videos that's really stuck with me for a long time is actually one of your really early ones. And it's not a long one. It's only like 3 minutes or so. But it's a video in which you talk about not apologizing for your art. I just wanted to say that video has actually stuck with me for a long time, and I think about it a lot, especially when I'm making something new that sucks dick. But, it really does mean a lot, and it helps me to focus on creating my art and not worrying about what people think. And there was a quote that you said in that video that's actually that I can't get out of my head. I think you said, "It's not left, it's not right, it's forward." Which is some inspirational words, Whang. So thank you for that. And obviously that video has meant a lot to the Thought Cops because they've never apologized for anything that they've done.
That's true.
So,
Great.
Well, that's the end of the voicemail. Thanks, Lakembra, for throwing us under the bus.
I don't know if I've seen that one.
I haven't either. But I want to check it out tonight on Whang.
Yeah, it's a deep cut.
YouTube.
It's a good note to end on, I think.
I agree.
All right. Well, thank you, Justin, for coming on. Once again, best of luck with your channel. We love it. We love seeing you get, your rightfully deserved attention for it and all of the subscribers that you've been getting.
Thanks.
And can't wait to see you hit, 1 mil
soon.
And hey, everybody else, you can support little old us by going to patreon.com/thoughtcops. It would really help us out. All the money goes to paying for equipment, helps paying for our boy Zwick to make the episodes sound crystal clear every single week. Throw a few bucks our way per month if you feel like it. And you can always leave your own voicemail at the show. That's free, though. You can do that for free. ThoughtCopsPodcast@gmail.com or give us a call, 312-788-7361. Leave a voicemail, and we'll play it on the show. All right, well, that's our ride if you can't hear that outside. So thanks, everybody, for listening. Thanks, Justin.
Yeah,
see you guys next time.
Thanks for listening.